Now, I want to ask you guys this question. Why in every aspect of Terrence Bud Crawford he has to plead his case on why he deserved what he earned? Why? Why? Why Terrence Crawford has to plead his case on whether he's number one pound for pound against Lomachenko that had 13 fights, right? And a loss when Terrence Bud Crawford was undefeated, an undisputed champion, moved up his first fight at 147, right, and beat the champion in Jeff Horn. That would make him a 3-division champion. He had to plead his case against Lomachenko that had 13 fights and a loss. That's who he had to plead his case against. And then he had to go and plead his case against Canelo Alvarez. Let me tell y'all something about Canelo Alvarez. This is a fun fact. Canelo Alvarez has been making history in boxing for a very long time. And it's for nothing good. Canelo Alvarez Canelo Alvarez has the most rehydration clause in boxing history. He has the most catchweight fights in boxing history. Canelo Alvarez is the only athlete that I know that got caught for cheating, right? And they said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to up the level of whatever drug that you was taking, which would have been clenbuterol, and we're going to make it okay for you to take it. He's the only athlete, right? The only athlete I ever seen they did that with. Why? Because he's so important to boxing, because he brings revenue, right? Canelo Alvarez's best aspect is his fan base. Without Canelo Alvarez's fan base, he would not be anything, right? Because he lost. We done watch him lost to Lara. We watch him lost to Triple G twice, right? And his cult fan base said it's okay. We watch him get dominated by Bivol, and his cult fan base said that's okay. So you can't compare Canelo Alvarez to Terrence Crawford when you have the most rehydration clause in boxing history. To be a pound for pound means you're moving up in weight and you're fighting the best. If you're moving up in weight and you're draining them, what's the purpose? It defeats the purpose. You cannot consider yourself a pound for pound fighter if you have your own weight class, you have your own catch weight. Canelo Alvarez had 4 consecutive catch weight fights. That's absurd. That's crazy. That man, Canelo, you can't compare him to no Terrence Crawford. It's disrespectful and it's disgusting that y'all compare Canelo Alvarez to Terrence Crawford. You cannot talk about his resume when he's fighting old-ass Shane Mosley, old-ass Mayweather, putting rehydration clause on everybody, fighting everybody at catchweight. You can't compare him. He's a privileged Twilight character, and that's why his fan base like him. Because he look like one of them Twilight characters. Mad, pale. Come on, bro. He's nowhere compared to no Terrence Crawford. If y'all want to consider Canelo Alvarez great, consider him a great Mexican. You feel me? Canelo Alvarez is just as good as Eddie Guerrero. Make Eddie Guerrero so rest in peace. He lies, he cheats, and he steals. You can't compare Canelo Alvarez to no Terrence Crawford. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. Make his fan base keep his name alive. In boxing, when he leaves, he's going to be known for the guy that gave out the payday. You want payday? Because of his fan base. That's it. But if you take away Canelo Alvarez's Mexican fan base, he only got 2 black fans. So you can't compare no Canelo Alvarez. If he wants to face a boxing, he could take that. Nobody don't care. He could take that. And next we got Monster Inoue, the Japanese that we just discovered last year. The Japanese that only fought, that doesn't fight nowhere else. He don't fight in the States. He don't fight in the States. His weight division is like 122, 126 or something like that. No elite fighters. We don't know no elite fighters in Monster Inoue weight division, right? Monster Inoue only fought Fulton, and if I'm not mistaken, did he fight Nonito Donaire? I don't remember. Don't quote me, right? But Monster Inoue, there's no comparison to Monster Inoue and Terrence Bud Crawford. There is no comparison. He fight in a weight division with no elite fighters, and we just discovered Monster Inoue last year. And you know what y'all do? Because y'all can't give Terrence Crawford his credit and y'all don't give him his just due, right? Y'all try to find somebody to compare to Terrence Crawford and said, well, it either could be Monster Inoue or it either could be Terrence Crawford. The same what y'all did with Bud and Lomachenko, and the same what y'all did with Bud and Canelo Alvarez. Y'all just don't like this man. I don't know why. He's a very great person, right? He's vicious in the ring, and to me, he's the greatest fighter of all time. I could break down the past four kings, on why he would beat them. We see Sugar Ray Leonard made Roberto Duran move up 2 weight divisions and beat him. We see Sugar Ray Leonard got knocked out twice. Come on, bro. We seen Tommy Hearns get knocked out. We seen Tommy Hearns, his jab is great, but once you get to his body, it's over. Marvin Hagler was a very, very good fighter, but Marvin Hagler had slow feet. And that would be very bad if you're going to fight a Terrence Bud Crawford, because you're going to have some type of speed to beat that man. And Marvin Hagler doesn't have that, right? So we seen Errol Spence Jr. with the slow feet got decimated, got destroyed, right? So Marvin Hagler, and I don't even want to talk about Roberto Duran. He gets trashed. He gets trashed. His fighting style is tailor-made for a Terrence Bud Crawford. So I don't know who y'all want to, in boxing history, that y'all want to compare Terrence Bud Crawford to. It can't be Mayweather. It can't be Mayweather. I just spoke about a cult fan base that Canelo Alvarez have. Mayweather fan base is the same. We watched Mayweather cheat against Manny Pacquiao in the biggest fight of his career. Got caught taking illegal IV, right? And you know what they did? They said Mayweather is okay. It's fine. You could do it, right? Ain't nothing wrong with it. Just don't do it again. And that's documented. Not making it up. You could go back and you could read the articles. He cheated against Manny Pacquiao and got a slap on the wrist and said it was okay. Just don't make it happen again. And not only that, he cheated in the ring when he faced off against Manny Pacquiao. He completely underperformed, right? Mayweather got so much of a cult fan base, they try to create an alter ego for him to justify why he couldn't knock guys out, right? When he was knocking guys out like Diego Corrales, Arturo Gatti, and guys that can't even tie Terrence Bud Crawford's shoes, right? Y'all was saying, oh, well, he was pretty well when he was way younger, when he was way much younger, and them opposition is not the same opposition as fighting Oscar De La Hoya, a Zab Judah, not even a Miguel Cotto. Like, they're not even on the same level, right? So as the level of competition rose and Mayweather moved up in weight, as he got older, he wasn't able to knock the elite fighters out, right? And you know what y'all said? Oh, he messed up his hand, right? When after he messed up his hand, he had knockouts. After he messed up his hand, no, the level of competition rose. He got older and his power didn't transition. So y'all create an alter ego for this man to try to make it look like, oh, nah, this is when he was knocking guys out. He was younger, guy. When he's younger, they feed, when you're younger and you're earlier in your career, they feed you fighters for you to destroy. That's what they do. But what makes you great is when you get older and you're able to do the same thing. And he wasn't able to do the same thing. He was just beating guys off straight points. That's what he was doing. You can't compare no Mayweather to no Terrence Crawford we watch him cheat and we watch him underperform in the biggest fight of his career. He went out fighting an MMA fighter, for Christ's sakes. For Christ's sakes. His last fight was an MMA fighter. He became 50-0 by fighting an MMA fighter that never ever faced off in a boxing ring besides fighting him. Never faced off on a professional level besides fighting him. He's a next Canelo. You can't compare Floyd Money Mayweather to no Terrence Crawford. Who you think Canelo got that catchweight shit from? Him. He fought Canelo Alvarez and he put a catchweight on Canelo Alvarez, and he tried to do a rehydration clause and a catchweight, and Canelo Alvarez said no. Canelo Alvarez didn't have the same cojones as Ryan Garcia that took the rehydration clause and the catchweight against Gervonta Tank Davis. He said no. So this is why I want to get to y'all, bro. There is no compare nobody to Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford had Keith Thurman running. He had Mikey Garcia running. He had Danny Vantum, Danny Garcia running. He had all of these guys running. It's not his fault that guys didn't want to fight him. It ain't his fault. Canelo Alvarez has the opportunity to fight anybody he wants in boxing because of his fans. His fans is going to make sure that he has a proper revenue so everybody can get a payday. Not because he's a good fighter. It's because of his fans. His fans want to see him fight no matter who it is. You see what I'm saying? So I don't understand why y'all compare these guys to Terrence Crawford. There is no comparison. Terrence Bud Crawford is in a league of his own. He is literally the greatest fighter of all time, and y'all try to deny it. And you can see that he's the greatest fighter of all time because the old heads, they try to deny him. The new faces try to deny him. The mid faces try to deny him. Everybody try to deny him and try to take away this man legacy and what this man did in the sport of boxing. But it still remained the fact that he done something no father ever done in boxing history. He became undisputed in 2 different weight divisions. So y'all can hate if y'all want to. Y'all hear it from me. Terrence Crawford is the greatest fighter of all time, and it's sick that he has to plead his case when it comes to every aspect of boxing. He had to plead his case on why he deserved a fight with Errol Spence Jr. when he was the number 1 or the number 2 fighter in the welterweight weight division. He had one belt that Errol Spence needed to become undisputed, and he still had to plead his case on why he deserved a fight with Errol Spence Jr. This is what Terence Crawford has to go through. They strip him of his IBF belt the other day for no reason. For no reason. For no reason. Right? This is what Terence Crawford has to go through. You see, you feel me? So there is no comparing the four kings, Mayweather, Canelo, nobody to Terence Crawford. Nobody. You put him right next to Muhammad Ali, and he sits right there. He sits right there. He sits right there. There's nobody else close. Nobody else close. You feel me? But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button, share this video if y'all enjoy this content, and I'm out.